Welcome back to Sco Buff Sports. I am Sarah Bennett with Leo Rivera, and while we know many of you are anticipating the Patriots-Broncos matchup this Sunday, we still have a plethora of CU sports news right here, right now for you. We start with the skidding men's hoops teams as CU fell to West Virginia Saturday. Barrington Hagras led the Buffs with 15 points. Colorado captured its first lead of the game off a 12-2 run early in the second half. However, the Buffs would get outscored 30-15 in the next 13 minutes to lose by 11. Colorado struggled on the glass, getting out-rebounded by 16.
The Buffaloes went toe-to-toe with number 19 Kansas. Even without coach Bill Self, the Jayhawks pulled away for a 75-69 win, dropping the Buffs to 2-4 in Big 12 play. Freshman Isaiah Johnson led CU, continued to climb the freshman scoring ranks, scoring 19 points. Barrington Hagras finished with 17 points, and Alone McKaylee had 13 to keep CU's offense rolling. Ultimately, Kansas dominated in transition on both ends of the floor, stealing the win and moving them to 4-2 in Big 12 play.
The Colorado women's basketball team continues to struggle away from home, suffering a 74-68 loss against the UCF Knights last Sunday. Jade Masagayo put up 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Desiree Wooden continued being an excellent bench option, scoring 15 points. The Buffs led by as much as 6 points in the fourth quarter, but the Knights stormed back. Colorado is 0-5 on the road for the first time since their shortened COVID season.
Women's Hoops returns home to face Oklahoma State for the second time this season in Stillwater. The Buffaloes suffered a 7-point loss earlier, but since then the Cowgirls haven't slowed down. They upset number 19th ranked Iowa State by nearly 30 points in their last matchup and rolled through the Kansas Jayhawks before that. Oklahoma State is receiving votes in both the AP and coaches polls just shy of national ranking.
After they face the Cowgirls, J.R. Payne's squad takes on Kansas State. K-State is coming off an upset against number 17 ranked Texas Tech on the Red Raiders' home court. The Wildcats have had an up-and-down season, holding an 11-9 record. Alongside the Texas Tech upset, they defeated 13th ranked Ole Miss, but have suffered losses to Utah and TCU.
The men's basketball squad hosts UCF tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the CU Events Center. After starting conference play with back-to-back wins, the Buffs are on a 4-game slide. The Knights are 3-3 in conference play, with 2 of their wins come against teams Colorado lost to, including Kansas and Cincinnati. The Buffaloes are looking to defend home court and snap their losing streak, while the Knights try to steal a road game at altitude.
After playing the Knights, the Buffaloes will hit the road to play the number 9 Iowa State Cyclones on Thursday. The Cyclones are an undefeated 11-0 at the Hilton Coliseum this season. While Colorado has not won a game on the road in the Big 12, Iowa State averages the 5th most points in the Big 12 and 2nd best field goal percentage. The Cyclones are led by Joshua Jefferson, averaging 17 points and 8 rebounds per game. The Big 12 released Colorado football's 2026 schedule on Wednesday. The Buff slate is packed with bouts against Big 12 heavyweights, along with 3 of their first 4 games on the road. In those 4 games, they will face 2 Power 4 opponents for the first time since 1994. The contests include a rematch against Georgia Tech in Atlanta and a trip to Northwestern for the first time since 1951. In between those away games, they face Weber State for the first time in program history at home. In the Big 12, the Buffaloes face playoff finalist Texas Tech in their home opener and host a rivalry game against the Utah Utes.
It's now time for this week's trivia question. In honor of the Buffs game in Evanston, Illinois, our question is, When was the last time Colorado football won a game in a Big 12 stadium? We'll have that answer later in the show.
Hey Buff fans, my name's Jake. I'm joined here with Xavier McNevich, and this week's Buff banter will include the Big 12 dropping the football season schedule for the 2026 season. We're going to take our biggest takeaways on the schedule, and the Buffs start 3 of their first games on the road. Xavier, what do you think about that?
Well, it's a rough 3 road games as well. I mean, they play 3 Power 4 opponents in those games. They play Georgia Tech on the second game of a home-and-home series, as it's well known that the Buffaloes lost to them early in their 2025 season, and then they play Northwestern and Baylor, and Baylor's got a reloaded roster with DJ Lagway. I think the Buffaloes will just have to take at least 1 or 2 wins on the road, because after they're done on the road, they also have Texas Tech in their Big 12 home opener, which the Buffaloes could be staring down the barrel at a 1-5 start for the season.
Yeah, and especially going to their bye week, which is why one of my biggest takeaways is that Utah game coming off the bye week, especially after getting just embarrassed on national television at Utah last year. It'll be a nice little tune-up game. They're going to look for revenge. It's family weekend, fresh legs after the bye week, and especially if, worst-case scenario, the Buffs start 1-5, that Utah game comes at a pivotal time, and that's a game that they're going to want.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, especially all those Big 12 home games are especially crucial. I think they play 3 10-win teams at home. They play Houston, they play Utah, they play Texas Tech, all the top teams from the Big 12 this year. It's gonna be interesting for the Buffaloes in those home games, because they're gonna need to capture a couple upset wins later on in the season to hopefully contend for a Big 12 title or make a bowl game.
And you mentioned an upset win, another one of my biggest takeaways, and I think a pivotal game this year will be the Georgia Tech game.
Yep.
That home that they had against last year, completely winnable, and it set the tone for the season.
Right.
So we're going to have to see if Brennan Marion can kind of right the ship with his go-go offense and see what kind of that creates with that offense, and that'll set the tone for the entire season, and I think they're going to be kind of licking their wounds a little bit after that.
Yeah, I mean, those first 4 games are especially crucial, because you can't have a start like you did last season, right? You can't lose to Georgia Tech, you can't lose to BYU. Those games set the precedent for the rest of the season, and it didn't look like the Buffaloes were the same team after that loss to BYU earlier in the year. Of course, they got the win against Iowa State, right? But still, that was kind of near the end of the season when things were starting to trail off a little bit for the Buffaloes, starting that 5-game spiral to end the year. So I think the Buffaloes need to start strong in those first 4 games in order to try to capture bowl eligibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, this schedule, really tough on the front end, but the back end kind of eases up a little bit. And so there might be some bowl possibilities if the Buffs can capture maybe 2 wins on the road out of those 3 first road games. And they start 2-2, even 3-1, best case scenario. I think the Buffs are in a great position.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yep. That's Buff Fan. I'm Jake Chow, joined here with Xavier McNevich. We'll send it back to you at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Colorado's transfer portal haul is shaping up nicely. However, one key commit won't be joining the Buffs next fall. Defensive tackle Ezra Christensen will not receive a waiver.
And shine. Hope you got your shoveling done, because it is time for Buffaloes hockey. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to beautiful Boulder, Colorado, home of Colorado Buffaloes women's D1 hockey. We've got a good matchup today between the University of Massachusetts Amherst Minutewomen and the Colorado Buffaloes. Welcome into our broadcast here on Scope Buff Sports. My name is Patrick Nanes, joined as always by the birthday boy, Kieran Warger. How you feeling today, Kieran?
I'm feeling great, man. I mean, it hasn't quite sunk in today that I am officially 21, but I mean, it's it's definitely it's going to sink in later today, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, it was an exciting day yesterday here at the rink. I mean, Colorado, the CU women put up an incredible fight against this UMass Amherst team coming in from Massachusetts, and I mean, the final score was 2-4 in favor of the Minutewomen. But I mean, hey, Colorado put up an incredible fight. This was the toughest team that they have faced all season long, Paxton.
Absolutely, and they will have their hands full with the Minutewomen again today, seeing if the Buffaloes can bounce back. The Buffaloes only scored 2 goals, and both of them came in the middle period of the game. Massachusetts was really dictating play throughout the entire duration of the game. What do you want to see out of this Buffaloes team to try to flip that script today, Kieran?
Well, like you said, Paxton, I want to see them flip that script indeed. I mean, Colorado, they've been known for their incredible pressure in the offensive zone, and I want to see that here tonight, just making sure that they can capitalize on the power play once again. I mean, you've got that first line, Mia Fischelli, Anna Masiello, and Natalie Ewald coming out there. I expect big things from them tonight.
Speaking of Mia Fischelli, I think it'll be a big thing for the Buffaloes today to get her going. She had no points last night against this team, and as the best player on this team, it is very crucial for her to find a way to get on that score sheet tonight.
Absolutely, Paxton. I mean, it's tough to see her not get a point last night, but I mean, today she's looking to flip that script and get some points done on the weekend for this Colorado team. Absolutely incredible.
Music overhead welcomes both these teams onto the ice. They'll head out to their respective goal lines as we are about ready to announce our starting lineups, and then we'll get a national anthem. And then Saturday morning hockey will be coming your way. This Buffs team is hyped. They know what's at stake today. Kieran, Colorado taking that loss last night. Lucky for them, the Utah Utes in first place in the WWCHL lost to Grand Canyon last night as well. So both these teams still only 2 points separate them. The Buffs in second place below the Utah Utes. But how important is this game today?
This game is going to be a huge turning point for Colorado. A win today would keep them well within comfortable range of taking that number one spot in WWCHL. And that's crucial for today, Paxton. I mean, we saw their lines were really being tested last night. And like we said during the pregame, Mia Fischelli and her line there, her first line, are going to be key in turning the tides against the Minutewomen.
On that first line, Natalie Ewald had a goal last night, her 11th of the season. Her and her dynamic duo partner, Mia Fischelli and Anna Masiello, rounding out that first line. They are going to be so crucial for this Buffalo squad, trying to flip the script and get a win over UMass today. Puck is down, and we are underway here at the Rec Center. UMass in red, Colorado in white. Colorado coming in at 10-6-1-1. Massachusetts at 10-7-2. Pretty evenly matched teams, both in second place in their respective divisions. Massachusetts, of course, being independent, so not really in a division. But as far as independents go, they're the second among them. Face-off is going to come to the right of Zoe Watson, who is in net today for the Buffaloes. It's won by Colorado, Zoe Dupuis. Is trying to get it to O'Brien below the net. But a couple of Minutewomen are there, and they're going to come away with it. It's Pearson. Pearson was pinned up along the corner. And it'll slowly trickle down to Anna Masiello. Masiello getting out of the zone, feeds ahead to Fischelli. Good stick by Mia Fischelli. Here she comes. She's got room. Mia Fischelli takes the shot. No goal to hit the post.
What a chance for Fischelli coming down that far side. Gets it past the left pad of Matthews.
That's what it's going to have to be today. Mia Fischelli already feeling it out of the gates. You know that she wants this win today. Piatagorski going to have to wait for Cadden to come across the blue line, but she was a little too early. Buffs had to tag up, and it's going to come all the way down to Colorado zone. Touched there first by Lily Sparrow. Sparrow had the puck taken away from her. Cadden trying to get out of the way of a couple of Minutewomen and get out of her own zone, but she loses the puck. It's Sparrow with it from the blue line. She takes a shot. It got deflected and sent wide. Down in the corner again. It got loose. Went to Shapiro, who had a goal last night. Now to Abigail Dunn. Dunn trying to feed it in front of the net. Kieran Sullivan will clean it up. Put it ahead to Rowan Nasty. Lost the puck by the blue line. UMass sent it back in. Roche got sent down to the ice. And now Kate Emerson getting into Cadden. The Buffaloes can work out towards the neutral zone. Back to UMass. One of the big things for this Colorado team is taking care of the puck in the neutral zone. That was one of the things they were not very good at yesterday, and it was one of the things that led to their demise in that 4-2 loss. Emerson turns the puck over in her own zone, but gets some help from her teammates, and Sowers is able to push up ice. Coming down the near side, trying to get around Roche. In front of the net, trying to put a shot in it was Hairston. Sowers with the puck, up top, a shot from the point. Over to McDonald, who slides it to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to work with that puck. She'll flip it down to Abby Zahn. Buffs are in the middle of a partial change, and the puck's going to come out of the zone. Oki Terleska in the lineup tonight, getting her first shift of the day. Juliana McDonald's going to let it rip, and it goes into the chest of Sarah Matthews.
Juliana McDonald had some incredible chances last night, Paxton, right down the slot. That's where she thrives, and all those shots have gone into traffic, and she's looking for her first point of the weekend.
Colorado starting off the matchup with the first few shots on goal. That's going to be a big thing for them. They lost the shot on goal battle yesterday, 32-18 in favor of UMass. Here's Amanda Wallace. Tried to put a shot on, but got blocked in the way by Valerna. Now Wallace working hard on that forecheck. Racing after Brianna Ahrens, the club president. Puck battle down in the corner. Oki Terleska fighting for it down there with Wallace. Wallace got sent to the ice, and UMass is going to come away with it. Still kept in by Izzy Mitchell. And finally out to the neutral zone again. Julian Donald will dump it back in, and the Buffs will get a change. Mia Fischelli fresh off the bench, racing after that puck. Working hard at the forecheck, but the puck didn't stick with her. Ewald keeps it in. Now it's Anna Masiello in her spot. Masiello having to fight off Shea McDonald. And now another Minute Woman. Back to Anna Masiello. Masiello looking to feed it in front. Fischelli's there. Pinned up along the boards, having to fight hard. Good strong stick. Zoe Dupuis trying to keep it in. Ewald's going to help her out. Puck chipped up into the air. And back out to neutral zone. Dupuis slides over to O'Brien. They play catch with each other. And over to Mia Fischelli. Entering the zone. Fischelli, she's going to take a shot. It goes wide. Puck heads into the UMass bench, and we'll get a whistle. The goaltenders in today's matchup, the same as last night for the Buffaloes. It's Zoe Watson, who made 28 saves in the loss. And on the other side, it is Sarah Matthews, number 50, who made 16 saves on 18 shots, en route to a victory. Colorado will be trying everything they can today to put as many shots as possible on the Matthews. They know they can beat her. Her goals against average on the season is a 2.30, and has a goals against or a save percentage of only 9.36. Still pretty solid, but on the other side, Watson's 9.45. Kept in. Alexa Cadden trying to fight off. Stay with that puck, but she couldn't do so. Here's Viskovich. Viskovich puts it on net, and she'll chase after it to force a cover-up by Zoe Watson. Hope Viskovich got her first point this season for the UMass Minute Women in the win against Colorado as an assist. .50 left to go in the first period. Face-off tied up. Colorado's going to come away with it. Unable to clear, ran into the body of Partridge. In by the Minute Women. Put a shot on, pad save made. Back through the crease. And Ella Hairston is able to get it out. Over to Amelia Sowers. Sowers trying to get around Evans. Riley Evans was quite good for UMass last night. She was setting up a lot of plays from the blue line and getting a lot of offensive chances for the women in red. Mitchell is going to start things up for Colorado. Over to her D partner, Juliana McDonald. Zahn couldn't connect with Hairston. And it'll come right back to UMass. Here's Riley Evans wasting no time getting into the zone. Puts a shot on, but UMass was offsides.
UMass trying to shift the tides before that offside call was called. And this an easy glove save by Zoe Watson.
Ahrens is going to be out there. She's got Terleska as her right wing today, replacing Sophia Paulson, I believe, in the lineup. Here's O'Brien. O'Brien is going to put it through the crease. Dupuis is going to pick it up. Dupuis from the point. She takes a shot, tried to get deflected in front by Ahrens, but it went wide. Now Mitchell. Threw in front of the net. Ahrens is there, but couldn't put a stick on it. UMass is really good at clogging shooting lanes. They did it last night, and they're doing it so far here today. Terleska got the puck sent back behind her. Dupuis going to pick it up. Over to O'Brien. Up and out of the zone. Here's Oki Terleska. Terleska is just going to put it on net. Buffs need a change. And now the captain, Shelby Little, who had a goal last night. It's going to feed ahead. Should be icing on UMass. It is. It did not touch the stick of Joanna Zhu. Face-off will come out in front of Sarah Matthews. Sarah Matthews, one of the two captains on this team, along with Shelby Little. First line's going to head out for Colorado. Puck is down. Ewald was a little late to the face-off dot, and UMass wins the draw. Now here comes Balerna. Balerna is going to put it on, stick save made. Picked up first by Williams. Williams hit down in the corner by Kieran Sullivan. Emerson's going to slide it across, getting it to Masiello. Anna Masiello has two attackers on her. She'll have to opt to bring it to Kate Emerson. who has the same pressure. Back to Masiello. Couldn't get it around Little. Little now, puck on her stick, she lost it. And again, another turnover. This time it's Karlstein, back to Little. Little's gonna take a shot pad save made by Watson. Shelley working out of the blue line, trying to get across. Masiello racing after Shelby Little. Will take care of that. And a nice touch pass brings it to Karlstein. Karlstein's gonna put one on, it goes wide. Emerson put the pass into the skates of a Minutewoman, now heads out to Abigail Piatigorsky. Across that blue line, needs some help behind her. She lost the puck. Puck loose down in the corner. It's gonna come up and out of the zone. Mitchell just pokes it ahead to Juliana McDonald, who dumps it in. Cadden working on the chase. Piatigorsky gets in the way of that pass. And now fighting hard on the forecheck. Kicking after it. It's going to come out to UMass. It's Ivory Arguin. Arguin over to Gromko. Gromko had 2 goals last night, including the game winner. Gromko in the corner, in front of the crease. Shot, score. It's Ivory Arguin opening the scoring for the Minutewomen. She got a feed right in front of Watson by Gromko, and UMass strikes first.
UMass striking first, once again, looking to keep their hopes of sweeping Colorado alive. And Zoe Watson once again faced with pressure right in front of her kitchen. And we have a 1-0 game in favor of the Minutewomen.
It's Arguin's 4th of the year. She got the feed from Gromko, her 3rd assist and her 11th point. Gromko has been very good as the shot from Dupuis gets blockered aside. Dupuis slides it over to O'Brien. Colorado looking to push right back in and get that goal back. Here's Viskovich trying to get it through to Sparrow, but Wallace is there to bother her. Sparrow got sent down and kept in by UMass. Viskovich down below the net. O'Brien's gonna be there fighting with Sparrow for that puck. Put a pass into the skates of Wallace, and now a shot from Evans. Pad save made. Sowers couldn't connect with Wallace on the pass. And now Zoe Dupuis and Sophie O'Brien will slow things up and get things going for a fresh set of forwards for Colorado. Another pass goes into the skates of Wallace. Passing's been a little bit of a problem for this Colorado team so far in these 2 games. They're going to have to find a way to make it crisper, get tape to tape, so that they can get things going. Because right now it's all UMass again. Here's Zhu. Zhu up top to Roche. Roche back down. It missed Zhu, and it's going to come all the way around and get to O'Brien. O'Brien trying to get it out, not done so. And then the blocker save made by Watson, still kept in by UMass. Zhu with the puck, looking behind her. She'll connect with Roche, who slides it over to Shelby Little. Little's gonna let her rip. Pad save made, the rebound came in front of Zhu, but she couldn't put one on. Penalty coming up. And it looks like it's gonna be on UMass. So a good chance here for Colorado to get that goal back. Penalty is going to come on Joanna Zhu.
Huge chance for Colorado to capitalize once again on the power play, Paxton, and tie this game at 1 inside 9 minutes to go. Here comes that first line.
Colorado is 15.1%.
Nearly too many men on the ice.
Yeah, Kate Emerson was itching to get some ice time. Colorado 15.1% on the power play. UMass is 83.0 on the kill. Kept in by Piatigorsky. Gonna have to wait for some help from the rest of her unit. So Shelley's gonna pick it up by the blue line, now coming in front of the left circle. She takes a shot, it goes wide. Ewald keeps it in, flips it down to Masiello. Anna Masiello got pinned up along the boards by Roche. Piatagorski below the net, fighting to keep that puck on her stick. But instead is sent all the way down by Shelby Little. Good defense by her. Kieran Sullivan ahead to Mia Fischelli. 40 seconds have gone by in the Jus penalty. Chugging ahead is Mia Fischelli. Leaves it for Masiello. He tried to flip it back to Kieran Sullivan, but she was out of the zone. Now Colorado, that pass intercepted by Balerna. Balerna just going to dump it and race after the puck. O'Brien's going to grab it in the second unit. Who's going to come out for Colorado. Nothing there really for the first unit. Shelby Little. Try to get it out, but Brianna Arns is going to take it and enter the blue line. Brianna Arns down by the far side, getting some room, but a good stick there by Lila Roche. Stops her from getting a shot on. Cadden up to Zoe Dupuis. Dupuis lets it rip. Rebound got loose, and it went just left of the post. Rowan Nasty leaves it for Cadden. Cadden down by that corner looking for a pass. Circling around, she'll leave it for Zoe Dupuis. Dupuis getting down low. She's going to take a shot. It ran into Arns. The rebound is loose. Brianna Arns trying to get a turn shot, and it goes into the net. It's Brianna Arns. UMass thinks that it was put in by a glove. We're going to see what they have to say about this.
My goodness, what an attempt. Colorado turning the tides against UMass, doing exactly what we saw against Zoe Watson in the final waning seconds of that power play. But we'll see what the ruling is. Looks like the
Ref's got to talk about it. I saw a hand come way up into the air, and it looked like the puck got spiked into the net by Arns.
Yeah, the question was it a hand pass or was it just batted down with a high stick?
The referees are going right to that UMass bench to talk with head coach William Wright about what the ruling is. Now, we'll see what they have to say. It's a good goal. Colorado has tied the game on the power play. UMass a little bit confused, and I can't blame them. I wonder what that replay is going to look like. We'll see if Colorado might have gotten away with it. Here's Amelia Soares wasting no time, coming back into the zone. Getting around, putting it in front. Hairston was there, but couldn't turn around to get a shot on. Now here comes UMass the other way. It's Viskovich. Viskovich over the blue line. Down in the corner. Flip down to the right now of Zoe Watson. And taken out cleanly by Ella Hairston. Over to Abby Zahn. Who's just going to dump it, and her line will get a change. If Brianna Arns gets credit for that goal, it is her second of the season. And now over is Gromko. Gromko working hard below the net, trying to keep that puck on her stick, but the effort of Arns got it off. McDonald. Just trying to get it to Arns to start things up for Colorado. But it's going to be Oki Terleska looking to do that. Terleska's going to take a shot. It went into the legs of Riley Evans. And she ices the puck. No, it's waved off. Interesting call. McDonald skips off the boards. It's kept in by Abigail Dunn. Back down by the half wall. Terleska's going to get it up and out of the zone. And Avi Malquit will slow that puck down, feed it ahead to her teammate Shapiro. To their side, first line out for Colorado. Masiello on that back check. Now in front. That was Sparrow. Still kept in. Here's UMass, a shot from the point. Pad save made. First there's Dunford. Fischelli's on her, and a good poke check by Fischelli just sent it down below the net. Now here's Dunn. Dunn looking for a pass. She gets it in Shapiro, but Shapiro sent it to the side of the cage. Put on in front, stick save made. Watson doesn't know where the puck is. Shapiro down below the net, bothered by McDonald. Shapiro trying to backhand it into the crease. Puck still loose. And finally, Colorado will get it out of the zone. Here's Natalie Ewald. Ewald's got a little bit of space on the far side to Fischelli. Good pass. Fischelli had a little too many defenders on her, is only able to put a weak shot onto Matthews, who easily takes care of that. As we take a look at our trivia question here for the first period, what is the only independent women's D1 team ranked above number 12 UMass? Is it Niagara, Arizona State, Arizona, or Rhode Island? I do know what the answer is, so I won't give the folks at home any hints. We'll get that answer to you momentarily. UMass ices the puck, will come all the way back down to the east side for a face-off. .420 in the first period. This game is tied at 1 apiece. Colorado scored on the power play by a interesting goal that might have gone in by a hand, but we'll assume that it went off the stick of Brianna Ahrens. Zhu gets it ahead to Sparrow. Lily Sparrow across the red line and across the blue. Zoe Dupuis there to meet that dump. And a good job by Colorado taking care of that, no problem. The passing, though, still not the cleanest for Colorado. As they're clearing the zone, they really are not being tape to tape in the neutral zone. And it's resulting in them struggling to get good zone entries and chances to set up possessions. Alexa Cadden with the puck, put it in front of the net. Puck is loose, poked down by Cadden. Save made by Matthews. No whistle was blown. That puck was still loose. And then finally taken out by Shelby Little. She ices the puck.
And Matthews really was clueless as to where that puck was. Ended up being behind her net. She's desperately trying to cover, and luckily UMass is able to clear it out. But nonetheless, that icing call will bring it back to their zone. Another chance for Colorado.
5 left to stay out there for UMass. They've been out there for quite a bit. They're tired, but they win the face-off. Shelby Little couldn't get it out, kept in by Kate Emerson, who fed it down to Hairston. Hairston, that should be a penalty on UMass. There is no arms up in the air. UMass got away with that one. Hairston's stick was pinned underneath the arms of Shelby Little. But we play on. Hairston threw her arms up in the air and let go of her stick to show that she had no control over it. It was pinned by Little. But nothing for the Buffaloes. We stay 5-on-5. Emerson got the puck taken away from her by Julia Williams, but then she went hard down into the boards. Hairston to Zahn. Zahn slows that puck down, but just feeds it ahead. She needs to change. Puck popped up into the air. Still loose. Bouncing around by that blue line. It's taken away by Colorado. Over to Wallace. Wallace to Ahrens. Back to Wallace. A couple of Minute Women in their way. Good stick by Terleska. Pokes that puck down so Amanda Wallace could have it. Amanda Wallace pinned up by Viskovich. Kept in, now in front of the net. Down by the slot. Too many bodies there for anyone to get a shot on. Terleska just dumps it. And Riley Evans will start things up for UMass. Pass ahead to Pearson. Pearson over the blue line. Defended by Mitchell. She got around her, but a good stick by McDonald. Stopped her from getting a shot on when she was in tight. Here's Mia Fischelli. Fischelli gets around her man. Fischelli couldn't get around the second one. Hannah Gromko with some great help on defense. Now Ewald. Ewald puts a shot on, goes off the side of the net. Picks up her own rebound. Natalie Ewald back up top. It's Izzy Mitchell. Izzy Mitchell, the puck skipped on her, got under her blade, and it comes out. Hannah Gromko hard on that puck, looking to see if she could get around her and get a breakaway opportunity. Back to McDonald, who missed the pass to Mitchell. 1 minute to go. Mitchell turns the puck over. It's Pearson. Pearson, a shot from the point by Shapiro. Is blocked in front under a minute to go in the first period. First line's going to stay out for Colorado. Here's Shapiro. Shapiro got around McDonald. Now trying to backhand in front of the net. A shot there from Dunn. It goes up and over. Shapiro with the puck in the corner. Trying to get it to Dunn. Ewald's stick was in the way. And they'll fight for the puck behind the cage with Watson. 30 seconds left to go in the period. Here's Shapiro. Shapiro trying to put a turnaround shot on. Now a rebound. Not covered up by Watson. Dunn has the puck. Up top, Malquit takes a shot, pad save made by Watson. Last chance in the period for Colorado. They have 15 seconds. Maciel is just going to dump it. As 10 seconds remain. Shelby Little seeing if UMass can get anything going to end it. They can't. And they're just going to wave off icing and let this period come to a close. After 20 minutes, this game is tied at 1 goal apiece. UMass opened the scoring, and then on the power play, Brianna Ahrens put the puck in the back of the net. Colorado gained a goal here in the first period and heading to the room tied. A lot better than yesterday where they were down 1-0. And a lot better effort, I think, from Colorado so far in this one in the first.
Definitely much better first period from the Buffaloes on this fine Saturday morning, rather. But I will say, Paxton, very similar playing strategies from both of these squads. I mean, Minutewoman coming in here and really just getting up into Zoe Watson's kitchen and doing the same thing for Matthews on the other end, for Colorado is rather. So, I mean, pretty evenly matched. Colorado's energy definitely starting to turn back, and much more energetic first period than yesterday, for sure.
Absolutely. We'll get back to you for the second period of action here in about 16 minutes as they resurface the ice. 1-1 is the score here on Scope Up Sports. We will see you for the second period.
Welcome back to Scope Up Sports. I am Sarah Bennett with Leo Rivera, and while we know many of you are anticipating the Patriots-Broncos matchup this Sunday, we still have a plethora of CU sports news right here, right now for you. We start with the skidding men's hoops teams as CU fell to West Virginia Saturday. Barrington Hagras led the Buffs with 15 points. Colorado captured its first lead of the game off a 12-2 run early in the second half. However, the Buffs would get outscored 30-15 in the next 13 minutes to lose by 11. Colorado struggled on the glass, getting out-rebounded by 16.
The Buffaloes went toe-to-toe with number 19 Kansas. Even without coach Bill Self, the Jayhawks pulled away for a 75-69 win, dropping the Buffs to 2-4 in Big 12 play. Freshman Isaiah Johnson led CU, continued to climb the freshman scoring ranks, scoring 19 points. Barrington Hagras finished with 17 points, and Alone McKaylee had 13 to keep CU's offense rolling. Ultimately, Kansas dominated in transition on both ends of the floor, stealing the win and moving them to 4-2 in Big 12 play.
The Colorado women's basketball team continues to struggle away from home, suffering a 74-68 loss against the UCF Knights last Sunday. Jade Masagayo put up 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Desiree Wooden continued being an excellent bench option, scoring 15 points. The Buffs led by as much as 6 points in the fourth quarter, but the Knights stormed back. Colorado is 0-5 on the road for the first time since their shortened COVID season.
Women's Hoops returns home to face Oklahoma State for the second time this season in Stillwater. The Buffaloes suffered a 7-point loss earlier, but since then the Cowgirls haven't slowed down. They upset number 19th ranked Iowa State by nearly 30 points in their last matchup and rolled through the Kansas Jayhawks before that. Oklahoma State is receiving votes in both the AP and coaches polls just shy of national ranking.
After they face the Cowgirls, J.R. Payne's squad takes on Kansas State. K-State is coming off an upset against number 17 ranked Texas Tech on the Red Raiders' home court. The Wildcats have had an up-and-down season, holding an 11-9 record. Alongside the Texas Tech upset, they defeated 13th ranked Ole Miss, but have suffered losses to Utah and TCU.
The men's basketball squad hosts UCF tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the CU Events Center. After starting conference play with back-to-back wins, the Buffs are on a 4-game slide. The Knights are 3-3 in conference play, with 2 of their wins coming against teams Colorado lost to, including Kansas and Cincinnati. The Buffaloes are looking to defend home court and snap their losing streak, while the Knights try to steal a road game at altitude.
After playing the Knights, the Buffaloes will hit the road to play the number 9 Iowa State Cyclones on Thursday. The Cyclones are an undefeated 11-0 at the Hilton Coliseum this season. While Colorado has not won a game on the road in the Big 12, Iowa State averages the 5th most points in the Big 12 and 2nd best field goal percentage. The Cyclones are led by Joshua Jefferson, averaging 17 points and 8 rebounds per game. The Big 12 released Colorado football's 2026 schedule on Wednesday. The Buff slate is packed with bouts against Big 12 heavyweights, along with 3 of their first 4 games on the road. In those 4 games, they will face 2 Power 4 opponents for the first time since 1994. The contests include a rematch against Georgia Tech in Atlanta and a trip to Northwestern for the first time since 1951. In between those away games, they face Weber State for the first time in program history at home. In the Big 12, the Buffaloes face playoff finalist Texas Tech in their home opener and host a rivalry game against the Utah Utes.
It's now time for this week's trivia question. In honor of the Buffs game in Evanston, Illinois, our question is, when was the last time Colorado football won a game in a Big 12 stadium? We'll have that answer later in the show.
Hey Buff fans, my name's Jake. I'm joined here with Xavier McNevich, and this week's Buff banter will include the Big 12 dropping the football season schedule for the 2026 season. We're going to take our biggest takeaways on the schedule, and the Buffs start 3 of their first games on the road. Xavier, what do you think about that?
Well, it's a rough 3 road games as well. I mean, they play 3 Power 4 opponents in those games. They play Georgia Tech in the second game of a home-and-home series, as it's well known that the Buffaloes lost to them early in their 2025 season, and then they play Northwestern and Baylor, and Baylor's got a reloaded roster with DJ Lagway. I think the Buffaloes will just have to take at least 1 or 2 wins on the road, because after they're done on the road, they also have Texas Tech in their Big 12 home opener, which the Buffaloes could be staring down the barrel at a 1-5 start for the season.
Yeah, and especially going to their bye week, which is why one of my biggest takeaways is that Utah game coming off the bye week, especially after getting just embarrassed on national television at Utah last year. It'll be a nice little tune-up game. They're going to look for revenge. It's family weekend, fresh legs after the bye week, and especially if, worst-case scenario, the Buffs start 1-5, that Utah game comes at a pivotal time, and that's a game that they're going to want.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, especially all those Big 12 home games are especially crucial. I think they play 3 10-win teams at home. They play Houston, they play Utah, they play Texas Tech, all the top teams from the Big 12 this year. It's gonna be interesting for the Buffaloes in those home games because they're gonna need to capture a couple upset wins later on in the season to hopefully contend for a Big 12 title or make a bowl game.
And you mentioned an upset win, another one of my biggest takeaways, and I think a pivotal game this year will be the Georgia Tech game.
Yep.
That home that they had against last year, completely winnable, and it set the tone for the season.
Right.
So we're going to have to see if Brennan Marion can kind of right the ship with his go-go offense and see what kind of that creates with that offense, and that'll set the tone for the entire season, and I think they're going to be kind of licking their wounds a little bit after that.
Yeah, I mean, those first 4 games are especially crucial because you can't have a start like you did last season, right? You can't lose to Georgia Tech, you can't lose to BYU. Those games set the precedent for the rest of the season, and it didn't look like the Buffaloes were the same team after that loss to BYU earlier in the year. Of course, they got the win against Iowa State, right? But still, that was kind of near the end of the season when things were starting to trail off a little bit for the Buffaloes, starting that 5-game spiral to end the year. So I think the Buffaloes need to start strong in those first 4 games in order to try to capture bowl eligibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, this schedule, really tough on the front end, but the back end kind of eases up a little bit. And so there might be some bowl possibilities if the Buffs can capture maybe 2 wins on the road out of those 3 first road games. And they start 2-2, even 3-1, best case scenario. I think the Buffs are in a great position.
I 100% agree.
Yep. That's Buff Banner. I'm Jake Chow, joined here with Xavier McNevage. We'll send it back to you at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Colorado's transfer portal haul is shaping up nicely. However, one key commit won't be joining the Buffs next fall. Defensive tackle Ezra Christensen will not receive a waiver to play his 6th year of college football at Colorado, per the Daily Camera. The former New Mexico State Aggie earned first-team All-Conference USA honors last season. He led the country in pressures and had 6 sacks among defensive linemen. Not entering April's NFL draft, Christensen had the highest Pro Football Focus grade.
2 more Buffs are heading to Milan to compete in the 2026 Winter Olympics. Hugo Hinkfuss earned a spot on Australia's cross-country skiing team. Stacey Goskell will represent the United States in snowboarding. Hinkfuss and Goskell become the 6th and 7th CU students competing in the 2026 Olympics.
History was made last weekend at the track and field Potts Invitational when Isaiah Gibbons ran the fastest mile ever clocked in the state of Colorado. The track and field team is back at it, hosting the Colorado Invite. Field events are already underway with 3 athletes competing in throwing events for Colorado today, and tomorrow is all about racing as the 60-meter hurdles will take place at the track in the morning.
Tennis is back in action starting today. The team hosts Montana State tonight at 6 p.m. and the Air Force Academy on Sunday at 2 p.m. Both games will be played at Meadows Club in Boulder. Last year, the Buffs went 9-14. Now, they look towards their 3 freshmen, 2 seniors, and returning graduate Aya El Said. Head coach Anthony Pham said this team has the most it's had in over half a decade.
Welcome to Folsom Feud. I'm your host, Colby, here with 3 contestants today, Lincoln, Balin, and Kieran. Lincoln, start us off.
I'll take game day etiquette for 200.
All right. This is the best way to show respect during the CU fight song.
What is standing, singing loud, and raising your hand in the hook 'em horn sign?
Not what we're looking for. Balin, you have an answer?
What is stand up, sing loud, and do the Ralphie horns?
Correct. Balin, the board is yours.
Give me tailgate traditions for 400.
All right, here's the answer. The must-have item to wear on game day to show your Buff pride. Kieran?
What is black and gold?
That's correct. Nothing says school spirit like those 2 colors. Choose the next one.
Let's do fan etiquette for 600.
Fan etiquette. The proper response when you hear someone yell, "Go Buffs."
What is Skull Buffs?
Skull Buffs is right. Looks like we've got some true Buffs fans here. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to our contestants, and see you next time.
Club baseball team has announced its action-packed schedule for the upcoming season. The circuit features 4 out-of-conference series, including a 3-game set against Nebraska at the end of March and a 4-game series against Miami in April. The Buffs begin their season in Dallas, featuring a round-robin tournament with North Texas, Baylor, Oklahoma, and Texas. They begin conference play against Metro State on March 20th, then hosting Air Force and Colorado State in early April. SBS is the home of CU Club Baseball, starting with Utah on March 7th.
After a strong weekend in the Big Mountain Classic, men's D2 hockey faces off against Southern Methodist University. Last weekend, Colorado went 4-0 with freshman Brick Fisher dominating the tournament. He scored 6 goals and had 4 assists for 10 points on the weekend to lead the team. CU will look to keep its win streak going in a 2-game series against SMU. The first game is senior night on Friday night at 8 p.m. and the second will be on Saturday at 3 p.m. Both games will be at the CU Rex Ice Rink and streamed here on ScoBuff Sports.
Men's D1 hockey gets the weekend off after a tough series last weekend. Against the University of Mary Marauders, Colorado was shut out in both games and gave up 14 goals across the 2 games. The Buffs were supposed to play against the University of Oklahoma this weekend, but the series was canceled due to travel issues.
The Buffs women's hockey squad treated the New Mexico Lobos to a couple of shutouts last weekend. They won 4-0 on Saturday and 9-0 on Sunday. It was another successful weekend on the power play as the Buffs converted 3 of 4 of their chances against short-handed opponents. They face off in a big matchup tonight against the UMass Minute Women. The game will be streamed live at 5 p.m. right here on ScoBuff Sports.
One is the score between the Minute Women and the Buffaloes as we get ready for the second period of action here at the CU Rec Center in beautiful Boulder, Colorado on this freezing cold Saturday morning. Welcome into the booth. I'm Paxton Haynes with the birthday boy Kieran Warger. And Kieran, a lot better period from Colorado, unlike what we saw in that last period on Friday night. The shot differential right now 9-7. Colorado closed that gap. And I think overall they're just playing a lot better.
Absolutely, especially on the power play. Colorado coming in clutch on that power play kill, getting that first line out there with Fischelli, Ewald, Masiello, and I would expect them to continue that same pressure. Much more close game. They saw what happened last night, so they're looking to turn the tides in their favor and stay in this race for the first seed in the WWCHL.
The goal from Colorado came via Brianna Ahrens on the power play. It maybe was batted down by her stick, but the score says 1-1. It is her second of the season. Batted down with her high stick, I should say, to clarify. We'll switch sides. Matthews will be defending the west net. Colorado will talk things over and hype themselves up before they head into battle for the second period of action. Colorado 10-6-1-1 on the season. Massachusetts is 10-7-0-2. Puck is down. We are back underway. Zoe Dupuis, after Colorado wins the faceoff, goes off the body of Maciel and kicks right to Viskovich. Or excuse me, that's Arguin. Arguin was the goal scorer in the first period for Massachusetts and tries to backhand and put a shot in front of the net, or put a pass in front of the net. O'Brien grabs it for Colorado. They're not able to clear, but now Fischelli is able to get it out to neutral zone. Here she comes with Maciel in front of her. Buffs are on sides. Working around Evans. Maciel getting tight in front of the net. Wraparound try, and the turnaround shot is a save made by Matthews.
What a chance for that first line once again, Paxton. Masiello and Fischelli wrapping around back behind that net. Very close chance, but it's kept out by Sarah Matthews.
Fischelli already with 3 shots on goal in this one. She was missing out on that score sheet. yesterday. UMass is going to take it out of the zone. It's Shelby Little. Shelby Little quick over that blue line with some speed. She puts a shot on, but the stick by Sullivan sent to the side. Grabbed by Rowan Nasty, who gets it to Piatagorski. Piatagorski head to Catan. Catan met by Shelby Little, and the puck will kick up into the screen. Tonight's stream is presented by TEDxCU 2026 on the contrary on April 4th in Mackey Auditorium, challenging us to reconsider opposites as connection. TEDxCU is CU Boulder's own organized TED event. Purchase tickets at tedxcu.com. Colorado wins the draw. Catan in the corner. Up top for Emerson. Emerson put a shot on it, got blocked by Dunn. Rowan Nasty will slide it back over to Catan. Catan backhanded in front of the net, in hot with Sowers, but she lost her stick and couldn't put it on net. Still with the puck. It's Hairston, had her back turned to Matthews. Fighting down by the half wall, coming away with it is going to be Lily Sparrow, and it comes out of the zone for UMass. Still with Colorado, it's Sullivan trying to bank it to Hairston, who put a hit onto Maya Shapiro. Shapiro's still down on the ice. Up now and grabbing her stick, a little rattled after that hit. Sullivan will dump it in. Zahn had the pucks dribble on her for a second, and then she'll just dump it. Little. And a good, out to neutral zone. It's done. Ahead, coming up the far side. A shot put on, it goes over the net. Rebound try, off the post. The UMass official roster on the ACHA website doesn't have a name for number 8 on UMass, so unfortunately I do not know who took that shot. Abby Zahn dumps it. Played there by Matthews, and Sarah Dunford will start things up for UMass. Getting around Wallace and over the blue line. Down to the corner, puck is loose. Corralled by UMass, it's Shane McDonald. Mitchell flips it up, trying to get some help from Terleska. And a shot from the slot is fanned on by Joanna Zhu. Ahrens to Terleska, a little too far for her. Kept in by Brianna Ahrens. And she will flush it all the way down so Colorado can get a change. Evans up ahead to Williams. It got behind her. Back out to the first line out for Colorado. A shot from beyond the blue line is corralled by Zoe Watson, and we'll get a whistle. Shots are 12-8 in favor of UMass. The score 1-1. Natalie Ewald is going to take the face-off for Colorado. Kick save made by Watson, and Alpha Shelley racing after the puck. Facing off against Riley Evans, and a good stick by Evans is able to stop Fischelli. Dupuis slides it over to O'Brien. O'Brien will slow things up, send it back to her captain, who feeds it to Natalie Ewald by the circle. Ewald brought the puck over a little too late. Colorado's offsides. You can support our streams on Venmo at SBS_CU. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Sophie O'Brien over the blue line. Met by many defenders, and that puck can't be kept in by Natalie Ewald. It's going to come all the way down. Dupuis with Gromko hot on her tail. It's kept in by Gromko. In front of the net, Gromko almost put a deflection on it. Good shift by Hannah Gromko. She had 2 goals last night. Anna Masiello gets around Viskovich. Masiello below the net looking for a wraparound. Puck is loose in front of the net. Fischelli couldn't put a stick on it. Popped up. Masiello still working hard. Piatagorski sends it right to Hannah Gromko. And here comes UMass 2-on-2. Emerson got in the way of that dump chance. but it kicked right to Kennedy Pearson. But the rest of her teammates were a little too quick over the blue line. Alexa Catan on the ice for Colorado. We just found out at the break that I've been saying her name wrong the entire season. Her name is Alexa Catan. My apologies to Alexa, but she's a rookie. She will have a great career here on this Colorado team, and we'll get her name right the rest of the way. Big thank you to the parents who let us know at the break, and a thank you to everyone who tunes in. We appreciate everyone who watches our streams. Colorado ices the puck. Like we were saying in the pregame, Kieran, Colorado, despite losing, they don't actually move in the standings, or at least get a further gap away from Utah, because Utah also lost last night to Grand Canyon. So
two losses in the WWCHL this late in the season. The standings will stay where they are for right now, but we'll see what happens here today.
Shot from Sparrow. Save made by Watson. Yeah, Kieran, Colorado can breathe for a second. That loss last night seemed pretty brutal, as it may have allowed Utah to get a 4-point gap in the standings, but Grand Canyon bailed out the Buffaloes. It's still only a 2-point lead, 26 to 24 points, respectively, for Utah and Colorado. Of course, those two teams will play a 4-game series here after this one, starting next weekend. Two games at home each, and that very well may decide the WWCHL. Izzy Mitchell puts a shot on, but it's well wide to the right. Kept in by Colorado, but only for the moment. UMass will take care of that. McDonald grabs the puck, slides it across to Terleska. Terleska tripped and fell, and fed ahead by Shelby Little, racing after that puck. Watson calling for some help from her teammates in front of the net. Good stick to get it out. A shot from Zhu goes over. First there's Shapiro to get the rebound. Trying to leave it for Zhu. She'll have to race after it and fight Izzy Mitchell for that puck. She does so effectively and gets it down to Shea McDonald. McDonald putting it in front of the net. Rebound is still loose, still swiped on, and it goes in. It's Shea McDonald getting the rebound. That puck couldn't get covered up by Watson, and it slips past her left pad.
What a play by UMass, able to sneak that puck right through the pad of Watson and finds the back of the net on that low pad, on that low shot. Just like that, the lead is theirs once again.
2-1 Minutewomen here with about 30 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the second period. That was the case last night. Colorado never led, and they have yet to lead this one. Every time it's been UMass getting one goal out in front, and Colorado's had to respond. And then last night, UMass got 2 consecutive, and they won the game 4-2.
I will say, though, Colorado is still applying that pressure. Their energy is on point tonight, but another icing is going to bring it back.
Colorado's going to have to find a way once again. This UMass team, very tough. They played well this weekend. And we'll see what Colorado has in them to try to split this series. Arns is going to take the draw for Colorado. It's won by UMass. Up top, a shot from the point. Goes wide. Scooped up by Amanda Wallace, who's going to work ahead for Colorado down the near side. She puts a shot on. Easy pad save made. Viskovich couldn't clear it. Good forecheck by Wallace, who got thrown down to the ice by Hope Viskovich. And we get a whistle. I do not believe it is a penalty. It's not. Viskovich with the right hand threw Amanda Wallace down to the ice. First line coming out for Colorado.
Big chance for Colorado in the O-zone. Ewald in for the draw.
Colorado wins it. Up top, Sullivan leaves it for Masiello, but it hit the screen as Shelby Little ran into Masiello. Ewald back at that face-off dot up against Lily Sparrow. It's won by Sparrow and UMass. Lil, hard pass out, and it comes to Abigail Dunn. Abigail Dunn has room in the right circle, feeds it across for Shapiro. Shapiro had to get that puck with the backhand, and no shots are put on.
Dangerous chance for UMass. Coming down 1-on-2.
Masiello gets it out of the zone. Fischelli's going to race after. First one there is Roche, but a good stick by Masiello keeps the puck in the zone. Lil, excuse me. Now it comes out to Abigail Dunn. Dunn with Mitchell on her, putting it in front of the net, but Masiello was there to stop a shot. Riley Evans ahead for Williams. Masiello, a really good shift, making things really difficult for UMass. The entire first line will head out for Colorado. Here's Karlstein. Karlstein got the puck taken away from by Piatigorski, who then gave it right back to UMass and Viskovich. Viskovich puts one on, and it's knocked down by Zoe Watson.
Watson sensing pressure from Mishkovitz on that last play, and she'll cover up.
Our second period trivia question. Which famous band's founding members met while they attempted UMass Amherst? We'll let you think about it and get the answer back to you.
Got a whistle coming. Not sure exactly what the call is. Looks like we might get a timeout. Oh,
there's a player down on the ice.
Player down on the ice. That's Kennedy Pearson, who's slow to get up, and training staff will tend to her. We'll step aside for a moment.
That is Kennedy Pearson coming off the ice for UMass. Pearson with 4 goals and 6 assists on the season. Will get some help from her teammates.
She's not putting any weight on that left leg, Paxton. This is not a good sign. She's escorted off by her teammates and the athletic training staff. She took a huge hit on the near side.
Pearson from Sherwood Park, Alberta. One of 2 Canadians on this UMass squad. Will get taken care of by the medical team here at the rec center. And we'll start again with a face-off at the center circle. Piatigorski is going to take the face-off for Colorado up against Arguin, won by Colorado. Mitchell working to get that puck out. Colorado does so, and Piatigorski with some fire in her skates coming across the blue line. They're onside. Piatigorski puts a shot on, and it got sent aside by Matthews. taken out by UMass. Here's Hannah Gromko. Gromko, stretch pass, was a little bit behind Arguin. Kept in. A shot from the goal line is taken by Zoe Watson. Kieran, always tough for a team to see a teammate of theirs go down and have to get right back into the swing of things, playing hard, fast hockey again.
Absolutely, Paxton, but looks like the Minutewomen of UMass are rallying and ready to defend their home turf as Colorado wins the draw in their own zone.
In front of the net, Zhu trying to put a backhand on it. It goes wide. Zahn fighting for that puck along the boards. It's going to be Zhu coming away with it for UMass. Slides all the way down, trying to meet up with Williams. Or excuse me, that's Shea McDonald. McDonald trying to leave it for Zhu. Zhu at the top. Back to McDonald below the net. McDonald looking for wraparound, loose in front of the net, and it's just kicked aside. Zahn threw it right off the body of Ella Hairston. A lot of bodies heading down to the ice, and a penalty is going to come up on UMass.
Yeah, Amelia Sowers is tripped up on the near side, and she gets up unscathed, but it's going to be another power play for Colorado as Shelby Little heads to the box for tripping.
And that's a big body for UMass that they're going to be without here on the kill. The captain of this team and one of the best defensemen that they have. They'll have to get it done without her, will UMass. The first unit is out there for Colorado. UMass, even with Little, they're only 83% on the penalty kill. Masiello trying to get a Piatagorski loose puck. Ewald fanned on the shot. Sullivan from the blue line down to Ewald. Ewald couldn't get tipped on by Piatagorski. Fischelli picking it up. Ahead of the hashes. Leaves it for Kieran Sullivan, who puts it back to Fischelli. Fischelli down to Ewald in the right circle. Loose puck in front of that. Fischelli couldn't get there in time, and it comes out. Better start so far to this power play than the last one. Colorado was a little slow, but then they ended up scoring a goal in the waning seconds when the second unit came out. We're already getting close to having a minute gone off on the Little penalty.
Not a whole lot of urgency on this Colorado first line right now, despite they allowed a minute to go by. Not a whole lot of action.
Piatagorski fighting hard for that puck, gets it up top to Zoe Dupuis, fresh on the ice. Dupuis takes a shot, pass they made, loose puck. Natalie Ewald still has it and never put a shot on with the backhand. Orange now on the ice for Colorado. Up top to her captain, who slides with me. Fischelli's going to take a shot, blocked in front by Viskovich. Comes out of the zone. Colorado's got to tag up. They're going to wait for a second before they enter again. O'Brien on the far side. Fischelli enters. Mia Fischelli going to hold up. Turn it around. Leaves it for O'Brien. Fischelli off the ice. Sophie O'Brien over to Dupuis. Dupuis going to slap it, and it goes wide. O'Brien with the puck in the right circle. Got a little tied up, and the puck got away from her. Not cleared out yet. Now they do so, does UMass. And they kill off another penalty. Colorado is 0 for 2 on the day. Unable to even up the game with a man advantage. Now Catan over to Nasty, who just dumps it in. It's going to be icing on her. Nasty got met right at the red line by a body when she was trying to get across and dump it. Therefore, it is icing. Orange is going to go up against Alden Karlstein for the faceoff. It's won by Karlstein. A shot goes wide. O'Brien's going to clean it up. Turning around, trying to shake back or a forechecker. Zoe Dupuis able to get it out. Dumps it for Colorado. And Shelby Little out of the box. will start things up for UMass. Kept in by Sophie O'Brien, who then gets around Little. O'Brien putting it in front of the net, but the pass a little too slow to make it all the way to Hairston. A shot then from Zahn is gloved down by Matthews. The answer to the trivia question. It shows Arizona State. The answer is Pixies. There we go. Pixies was the musical group that started at UMass Amherst. Here comes UMass. It's Arguin. Arguin gets around Emerson. Now Arguin put a pass in front. Second chance from Evans. And scooped up by the glove of Zoe Watson. Nice save. Zoe Watson with 14 saves so far on the day. The faceoff will be to her right.
Amelia Stowers very jumpy on this draw.
Stowers will face Arguin. Arguin got kicked out. It's going to be Hannah Gromko. Arguin not a fan. Feuding with the ref a little bit. The faceoff is won by Colorado. Sullivan trying to leave it for Emerson. Instead is kept in by UMass. Viskovich. Down low, putting a pass in front. Puck is loose, second try. Still not in, a lot of bodies in the way, and finally covered up by Watson.
Looks like UMass thought, and the fans up here thought that crossed the goal line. And it might have bounced off the pass, or the pad rather, of Watson and tipped in, but they're gonna call no goal. We'll see what UMass has to say about this.
Goal was saved by Kieran Sullivan, who came behind Zoe Watson and knocked the puck down with her body, stopping it from crossing the goal line. We remain at 2-1. Face-off won by UMass. A slapper. Covered up, no. Still loose. Brooke Borges knocked down in the corner by Izzy Mitchell, and she draws a penalty. Mitchell's going to head to the box. 2 for tripping. And now it's the UMass's turn on the power play.
A chance for UMass to have the chance to bring this lead up to 2 as they did last night. They currently lead 2-1 against Colorado, and that first line is coming out first for Colorado on this penalty kill.
Colorado is 96.3% on the kill this season. Massachusetts is an even 24%. Good job by Sophie O'Brien getting that puck out of the zone. She's going to stay with the puck. Almost got around Riley Evans. Now for Shelly Har on the forecheck, shorthanded. She takes the puck away, gets it to Ewald in the slot. For Shelly in the left circle, she takes a shot. It goes off the shoulder of Matthews. Colorado applying pressure shorthanded. Dupuis is going to wisely just dump it down and kill time. 30 seconds have already gone off. And Riley Evans behind her net to start the power play attack for UMass. Got met by a couple of bodies, and they'll squirt out to Abigail Dunn, who gets across the blue line. Dunn, defended by O'Brien, will circle down below the net and put it up top for Little. Little over to Evans, into her skate. She was able to just kick it over to Sparrow. Sparrow back to Evans. Evans takes a shot. Save made. Rebound. Still loose. And these sprawled out legs by Zoe Watson are able to cover up.
Watson doing the splits, trying to cover that puck, and it ends up in her left glove. What a stop.
56 seconds left to go in the UMass power play. Colorado done an excellent job so far in the kill. They got fresh bodies out, second kill unit. A shot from the point. Pad save or blocker save made. Puck is still loose, and Masiello just fishes it out with the backhand. That hard shot came from Viskovich. It was just fought off by Watson. Viskovich gaining around Nasty on the forecheck. Entering the zone is Gromko. Gromko holds up, looks, leaves it for Little. Little over to Viskovich, met by the stick of Masiello. Back to Little. Little down to the corner. Up top, Little gonna let it rip. Went off a couple bodies. Back to Shelby Little. Little. Over to the corner, number 8. Fought there by Kieran Sullivan. Sarah Matthews slapping the stick to show that the penalty is over. Here comes Zahn. And Zoe Watson just covers up. She was horizontal in her crease. Luckily for her, Arguina was not able to raise that puck enough to get it in the net. Colorado maybe a little slow right now in this second period. That energy that they had in the first hasn't really been reciprocated here in the middle frame.
Yeah, it's hard to keep your energy up, especially when you go down a goal. But, I mean, their motivation, it's still there, but definitely pushing hard in that first period as Watson makes a stop.
That puck was never covered up, but Watson gets bailed by the whistle of the referee. 3 minutes and 54 seconds left to go in the second period. UMass leads it 2-1. Face-off, won by UMass. Putting it in front of the net. There to meet it was Zoe Dupuis. Kept in, only for the moment. UMass looking to get right back into the zone. Good pass from Dupuis, slides over to Zahn, who puts it to Sowers, Forecheck from Colorado, not effective. And Julia Williams will work down the far side. Got it to her teammate Balerna. Balerna's gonna put it wide. And getting up ice is Amanda Wallace. Wallace has room on the near side. Amanda Wallace, she takes a shot, and it's into the glove of Sarah Matthews. We'll see when the first line will get their last shift of the first period to see if they can even things up. Right now it's Arns and her line. Face-off tied up. Terleska's going to come away with it. She just flips it down with the backhand. And Little will feed it over to Borges. Kept in. Oki Terleska, she takes a shot. Save made by Matthews. Sullivan scoops it up. Bothered by Zhu on the forecheck. Now Wallace will do the same. Sullivan up ahead, couldn't meet up with Terleska. We'll have to start again. Over to Emerson. Emerson gets it through. Good pass, and Wallace is able to poke it out of the zone. Sullivan ahead to Ahrens, over the blue line. But the Buffs will change. Out comes Rowan Nasty. Fresh off the bench is Katana Piatigorsky with her. Here come UMass 2-on-2. They take a shot. Still kept in. Piatigorsky, puck was into her skates and then throws it off the legs of Nasty. She couldn't hold on to that puck. Good job in the neutral zone by Piatigorsky, still defeated head, but again, Colorado just really struggling to keep that puck on their stick. Catan in the right circle, she takes a shot. Sent aside by Matthews, and up comes Abigail Dunn the other way. The pass was behind Sparrow. Lila Roche. Roche leaves it for Shapiro. Shapiro put one on. And an easy save by Zoe Watson. 1:30 before we head into the room. UMass is up 2-1. First line out for Colorado. Natalie Ewald to take the faceoff. Won by UMass. Down low in the corner. Over to Viskovich. Viskovich trying to put it in front. Masiello. Bank pass ahead to Fischelli. Fischelli's got to race after it, make sure it's not icing. Good job by her. Pinned up along the boards by Evans. She goes down hard. And UMass will take care of that. Here comes Hannah Gromko. Gromko working on McDonald. Getting around her. Loose puck in front of the net. A lot of bodies there, and of falling Natalie Ewell is able to swipe that stick to get it out. 50 seconds to go in the second period. Right back in is UMass. Crowding that puck with her glove. And now a shot, no. Keep holding on to that puck on the goal line. Here's Malquit. Malquit lost the puck. Comes out. 30 seconds to go in the second. Sent back in by Valerna. Mitchell ahead to Masiello. Masiello to Fischelli on the far side. Fischelli enters the zone. Got two defensemen on her. And she lost the puck. Here's Karlstein. Karlstein just sent it right to Zoe Dupuis. 5 seconds to go. And a last chance ever for Fischelli. She's going to take a shot. Glove down by Sarah Matthews. The whistle blows with 0.1 seconds on the clock. We'll see if they add any time. I don't think they will. So that is going to do it for the second period. We'll just take this face off for good measure. Not enough time to get a shot off for Colorado. And after 40 minutes of play, UMass found the goal, and they lead 2-1. Kieran, kind of a slow period, it felt that way from Colorado.
Absolutely, Paxton. I mean, what we saw in that first was nothing compared to what we saw in this past 20 minutes. And, I mean, Colorado, they generated some decent chances, but their energy was definitely not as hot as it was in the first 20 minutes of play. They came out of the gates maybe a little too on fire, but they're going to head to the locker room, hopefully rejuvenate some of that energy and get that spirit back up for the final 20 minutes of play.
We'll see how Colorado can recover. They need to make up that goal and try to split this series, one win each before they head into that hard 4-game stretch against Utah. We will take a second to take a breather. The ice will get cleaned up, and we will get back at you for the third period of action here on Scope Buff Sports.
Here on this show
last Sunday. Jade Masagayo.
We'll send it back to you at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Colorado's transfer portal haul is shaping up nicely. However, one key commit won't be joining the Buffs next fall. Defensive tackle Ezra Christensen will not receive a waiver to play his 6th year of college football at Colorado, per the Daily Camera. The former New Mexico State Aggie earned first-team All-Conference USA honors last season. He led the country in pressures and had 6 sacks among defensive linemen. Not entering April's NFL draft, Christensen had the highest Pro Football Focus grade.
2 more Buffs are heading to Milan to compete in the 2026 Winter Olympics. Hugo Hinkfuss earned a spot on Australia's cross-country skiing team. Stacey Goskell will represent the United States in snowboarding. Hinkfuss and Goskell become the 6th and 7th CU students competing in the 2026 Olympics.
History was made last weekend at the track and field Potts Invitational when Isaiah Givens ran the fastest mile ever clocked in the state of Colorado. The track and field team is back at it, hosting the Colorado Invite. Field events are already underway with 3 athletes competing in throwing events for Colorado today, and tomorrow is all about racing as the 60-meter hurdles will take place at the track in the morning.
Tennis is back in action starting today. The team hosts Montana State tonight at 6 p.m. and the Air Force Academy on Sunday at 2 p.m. Both games will be played at Meadows Club in Boulder. Last year, the Buffs went 9-14. Now, they look towards their 3 freshmen, 2 seniors, and returning graduate Aya El Said. Head coach Anthony Pham said this team has the most it's had in over half a decade.
Welcome to Folsom Feud. I'm your host, Colby, here with 3 contestants today. Lincoln, Balin, and Kieran. Lincoln, start us off.
I'll take game day etiquette for 200.
All right. This is the best way to show respect during the CU fight song.
What is standing, singing loud, and raising your hand in the hook 'em horn sign?
Not what we're looking for. Balin, you have an answer?
What is stand up, sing loud, and do the Ralphie horns?
Correct. Balin, the board is yours.
Give me tailgate traditions for 400.
All right, here's the answer. The must-have item to wear on game day to show your buff pride. Kieran?
What is black and gold?
That's correct. Nothing says school spirit like those two colors. Choose the next one.
Let's do fan etiquette for 600.
Fan etiquette. The proper response when you hear someone yell, "Go Buffs."
What is skull, Buffs?
Skull Buffs is right. Looks like we've got some true Buffs fans here. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to our contestants, and see you next time.
Club baseball team has announced its action-packed schedule for the upcoming season. The circuit features 4 out-of-conference series, including a 3-game set against Nebraska at the end of March and a 4-game series against Miami in April. The Buffs begin their season in Dallas, featuring a round-robin tournament with North Texas, Baylor, Oklahoma, and Texas. They begin conference play against Metro State on March 20th, then hosting Air Force and Colorado State in early April. SBS is the home of CU Club baseball, starting with Utah on March 7th.
After a strong weekend in the Big Mountain Classic, men's D2 hockey faces off against Southern Methodist University. Last weekend, Colorado went 4-0 with freshman Brick Fisher dominating the tournament. He scored 6 goals and had 4 assists for 10 points on the weekend to lead the team. CU will look to keep its win streak going in a 2-game series against SMU. The first game is senior night on Friday night at 8 p.m. and the second will be on Saturday at 3 p.m. Both games will be at the CU Rex Ice Rink and streamed here on ScoBuff Sports.
Men's D1 hockey gets the weekend off after a tough series last weekend. Against the University of Mary Marauders, Colorado was shut out in both games and gave up 14 goals across the 2 games. The Buffs were supposed to play against the University of Oklahoma this weekend, but the series was canceled due to travel issues.
The Buffs women's hockey squad treated the New Mexico Lobos to a couple of shutouts last weekend. They won 4-0 on Saturday and 9-0 on Sunday. It was another successful weekend on the power play as the Buffs converted 3 of 4 of their chances against short-handed opponents. They face off in a big matchup tonight against the UMass Minutewomen. The game will be streamed live at 5 p.m. right here on ScoBuff Sports.
Hey Buff fans, I'm Kieran Walker bringing you this week's top 6 plays in Colorado sports. A busy weekend in Boulder and beyond. So let's dive right in with our number 6 pick. We go to hockey. Men's D2 had an incredible weekend in the Big Mountain Classic. And Brick Fisher up the far side of the rink, gets on his stick, and takes a shot and scores against the Bears of Cal. What a play by Fisher, making his name known this weekend. Now we go to the NFL. It's the LA Rams. Caleb Williams gets the handoff, and Nate Landman is there right at the line of scrimmage, and the Bears are tackled for a loss. What a play by the Buffs alum. Let's go back to hockey now for number 4. And who, you guessed it, it's Brick Fisher. This time he's going up. It's on his stick, down the slot, backhands it in to complete the hat trick against the Providence Friars. What a play. Now number 3, we go to men's hoops against Kansas. This one tipped in by Barrington Hargress at the buzzer, and the Buffs are down by 2 at halftime. What a play, ladies and gentlemen. Now for number 2, let's go back to hockey. This time it's against the East Texas Baptist Tigers. This one bounced off the post and backhanded in by Connor Smithberger. What a play by the senior this weekend. A huge game for hockey. And for number 1, I think we know where this is going. It's Isaiah Johnson. And the Dak Attack strikes again, ladies and gentlemen. I can't go a week without saying Dak Attack here on this show. So there you go. That's going to do it for this week's Plays of the Week here on ScoBuff Sports. I'm Kieran Walker, wishing you a wonderful weekend.
Here we see Xavier McNevitz working on his reader for the live show. If we didn't have these readers done by Thursday night, chances are we would not be airing this show right now. Be like Xavier. Get your readers done. And don't forget to click save so that you don't lose any of your hard-earned work.
What's up, Buff fans? It's Brittany Garcia bringing you this week's Rapid Fire with a fun weekend full of hoops and slopes. So let's jump right in, starting with men's basketball taking on Central Florida on Saturday at 1 p.m. in the CU Event Center, and that game will be on ESPN+. Then starting on Saturday, the ski team is in Utah for an invitational tournament with the 75K Freestyle on Saturday and the 15K Classic on Sunday. But if you want some more CU women's hoops action at any point during the AFC Championship game, you're in luck. The Buffs tip off against Oklahoma State at 1 p.m. and that game will be on ESPN+. And the tennis team will also be in action on Sunday, playing Air Force at 2 p.m. Well, that's it from me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Brittany. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the answer to this week's trivia question. As a reminder, we asked you, when was the last time Colorado football won a game in a Big Ten stadium? Drum roll, please. 1994. Colorado defeated the Michigan Wolverines 27-26 in the Big House. In the most famous single play in program history, the Miracle at Michigan, saw Cordell Stewart connected with Michael Westbrook for a walk-off Hail Mary.
Cam Newton is a Buff. Sorta. He's a Texas-born running back recruit who committed to Colorado on Monday. Our tweet of the week highlights one of the many inevitable jokes made about Newton's namesake. Everyone wants to be Auburn, said Auburn Einstein, reporting out former Tigers in college today. The Buffalo's newest tailback is not related to the MVP-winning Carolina Panthers quarterback. Still, has anyone checked his eligibility? Well, that's all we have time for today on this show. As always, I'm Larry Bear IV alongside Sarah Burnett, and as always, you heard it here first.
Welcome back to Sko Buff Sports. I am Sarah Burnett with Leo Rivera, and while we know many of you are anticipating the Patriots-Broncos matchup this Sunday, we still have a plethora of CU sports news right here, right now for you. We start with the skidding men's hoops teams as CU fell to West Virginia Saturday. Barrington Hagres led the Buffs with 15 points. Colorado captured its first lead of the game off a 12-2 run early in the second half. However, the Buffs would get outscored 30-15 in the next 13 minutes to lose by 11. Colorado struggled on the glass, getting out-rebounded by 16.
The Buffaloes went toe-to-toe with number 19 Kansas. Even without coach Bill Self, the Jayhawks pulled away for a 75-69 win, dropping the Buffs to 2-4 in Big 12 play. Freshman Isaiah Johnson-led CU continued to climb the freshman scoring ranks, scoring 19 points. Barrington Hagres finished with 17 points, and Alone McKaylee had 13 to keep CU's offense rolling. Ultimately, Kansas dominated in transition on both ends of the floor, stealing the win and moving them to 4-2 in Big 12 play.
The Colorado women's basketball team continues to struggle away from home, suffering a 74-68 loss against the UCF Knights last Sunday. Jade Masagayo put up 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Desiree Wooten continued being an excellent bench option, scoring 15 points. The Buffs led by as much as 6 points in the fourth quarter, but the Knights stormed back. Colorado is 0-5 on the road for the first time since their shortened COVID season.
Women's Hoops returns home to face Oklahoma State for the second time this season in Stillwater. The Buffaloes suffered a 7-point loss earlier, but since then the Cowgirls haven't slowed down. They upset number 19th ranked Iowa State by nearly 30 points in their last matchup and rolled through the Kansas Jayhawks before that. Oklahoma State is receiving votes in both the AP and coaches polls just shy of national ranking.
After they face the Cowgirls, J.R. Payne's squad takes on Kansas State. K-State is coming off an upset against number 17 ranked Texas Tech on the Red Raiders' home court. The Wildcats have had an up-and-down season, holding an 11-9 record. Alongside the Texas Tech upset, they defeated 13th ranked Ole Miss, but have suffered losses to Utah and TCU.
The men's basketball squad hosts UCF tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the CU Events Center. After starting conference play with back-to-back wins, the Buffs are on a 4-game slide. The Knights are 3-3 in conference play, with 2 of their wins come against teams Colorado lost to, including Kansas and Cincinnati. The Buffaloes are looking to defend home court and snap their losing streak, while the Knights try to steal a road game at altitude.
After playing the Knights, the Buffaloes will hit the road to play the number 9 Iowa State Cyclones on Thursday. The Cyclones are an undefeated 11-0 at the Hilton Coliseum this season. While Colorado has not won a game on the road in the Big 12, Iowa State averages the 5th most points in the Big 12 and 2nd best field goal percentage. The Cyclones are led by Joshua Jefferson, averaging 17 points and 8 rebounds per game. The Big 12 released Colorado football's 2026 schedule on Wednesday. The Buff slate is packed with bouts against Big 12 heavyweights, along with 3 of their first 4 games on the road. In those 4 games, they will face 2 Power 4 opponents for the first time since 1994. The contests include a rematch against Georgia Tech in Atlanta and a trip to Northwestern for the first time since 1951. In between those away games, they face Weber State for the first time in program history at home. In the Big 12, the Buffaloes face playoff finalist Texas Tech in their home opener and host a rivalry game against the Utah Utes.
It's now time for this week's trivia question. In honor of the Buffs game in Evanston, Illinois, our question is, when was the last time Colorado football won a game in a Big 12 stadium? We'll have that answer later in the show.
Hey Buff fans, my name's Jake. I'm joined here with Xavier McNevich, and this week's Buff banter will include the Big 12 dropping the football season schedule for the 2026 season. We're going to take our biggest takeaways on the schedule, and the Buffs start 3 of their first games on the road. Xavier, what do you think about that?
Well, it's a rough 3 road games as well. I mean, they play 3 Power 4 opponents in those games. They play Georgia Tech on the second game of a home-and-home series, as it's well known that the Buffaloes lost to them early in their 2025 season, and then they play Northwestern and Baylor, and Baylor's got a reloaded roster with DJ Lagway. I think the Buffaloes.
20 minutes left to go for this weekend matchup between the Colorado Buffaloes and the UMass Minutewomen. Colorado is down 2-1. UMass added 1 more to their tally in that second period. You're on Skull Buff Sports, Colorado. I'm Paxton Haynes with Kieran Warger, and Kieran, Colorado really just had to find some energy and some momentum because that was a pretty lethargic period for them in the second.
Yeah, I mean, they really slipped up there in the second. Let up that 1 goal, hadn't been able to respond. They still trail by 1 goal here entering the final 20 minutes of play. But, I mean, that first line still really bringing that energy out. I mean, they weren't as on fire as they were in that first period. But, nonetheless, they're looking to bounce back here, I am sure, to end this weekend. And the Minutewomen going to try to extend this lead and get a sweep.
It's also going to be really important for the rest of this team to find a way to apply some pressure and get sustained possessions. Right now, the first line is the only team that really has anything or the only line that has anything going for Colorado. Whereas it feels like all of UMass, the passing is just a lot tighter. The forechecking and back checking a lot better. As they get a chance right here, 2 Minutewomen collided with each other. And we are underway in the third period. Zoe Dupuis ahead to Anna Masiello. but it couldn't find her stick. But icing is going to be waved off. Nasty grabs the puck. Left it right for a minute, women. It was Arguin who dumped it in. Now Kieran Sullivan. Sullivan staying with that puck. Will pass it to Nasty, who passed it right to Viskovich of UMass. Catan entering the zone. Colorado's got to find a way to keep that puck in the zone for long periods of time. They can't do it here. Comes all the way down behind Zoe Watson. Sullivan turns it over. Fighting for that puck. Nasty's gonna fish it out. Icing waved off again. A couple of the UMass players threw their hands up on the bench. That's twice now in this period. Dumped in by Shapiro. First to get there is Mitchell. Over to Catano's room on the far side to break out for Colorado. The pass to no one. Will finally get to Hairston. Zahn just trying to enter that zone. But UMass has held up on that blue line all day long and has forced Colorado to just dump it in like they do here. Kept in by Mitchell. It goes right to Lila Roche. Got behind her, she'll start it up. Zahn on the forecheck. To Zhu. Zhu working across the blue line. Stopped there by Izzy Mitchell. And finally it'll come out of the zone. Good job by Izzy Mitchell. Remain all the way around the boards. Mitchell trying to backhand it out. It gets out finally. Terleska. And Joanna Zhu. Again, fans on the dump. Pinned up right along the blue line. UMass stays onside during that. UMass with fresh legs out. Terleska met by Belairna at the blue line. Across it comes. 3 minutes have gone by in the third period. Sent aside by the stick of Watson. Wraparound try. Watson was there ready for it. Roche blocked by Terleska in front. Back onto Roche's stick. Looking to send it down. She does so. The pass between the circles couldn't connect with Belairna. It comes out. The pass too far for Terleska. Icing waved off again. Roche. Masiello intercepts that pass. Stays in. Trying to get kept in by Sophie O'Brien. Now Ewald's going to help her out. Ewald banks it to O'Brien. O'Brien put it in front of the net. Masiello was there, but the stick by Matthews stopped her from getting to her stick. Masiello up top to Dupuis. Dupuis going to take a shot. Save made by Matthews. First stoppage of the period since 19 minutes and 55 seconds of the third. They were going back and I was going to say they were going back and forth. It was really fourth for UMass the whole time. But now we've got some time in the O zone for Colorado. The first line is out. Mifashelli and Masiello. Masiello fell on her back. O'Brien keeps it in. Just kidding, she didn't. Masiello touches the puck and she is offsides. O'Brien had lost her stick. Maybe looking for a penalty.
It looks like Colorado wanted a call. They're not going to get one as O'Brien lost her stick near the blue line. The play resumes.
Face-off is won by Colorado. O'Brien gets it down. Chasing after it is Fischelli with Gromko. A shot from Dupuis got knocked down. Icing waved off. We're just not calling ice in this period. Masiello couldn't put it past Shelby Little. And O'Brien put the body on, is working ahead as the rest of her teammates get a change. Gromko, the puck skipped on her. Catan will leave it for Zoe Dupuis. Dupuis Over to Piatigorsky, who tried to slap it to Catan, but snatched by Gromko and fed down by UMass. Zoe Dupuis down for Rowan Nasty. Nasty couldn't hold on to the puck. Colorado really struggling today with zone entries. Piatigorsky can't hold on to the puck for long. It's taken by Riley Evans. Up and out. Piatigorsky throws it around. Nasty again. Went into the skates of Piatigorsky, but she was able to receive it. She dumps it, about to get a change. Riley Evans. Up ice, gets it to Shapiro, who tried to flip it backhand to Dunn, but Sullivan was there to stop it. Ahead for Zahn. Zahn, she takes a shot, it goes wide. Sowers, unable to keep it in. Buffs up to start again. Zahn enters. Abby Zahn holds up. Sullivan looking for a pass. Sullivan's just going to throw it all the way down, rim around the boards. Kept in. Hairston fans on the shot. Zahn couldn't keep that puck inside. And here comes Borges. Borges is in the right circle. Borges getting in tight. Pad save made. To Riley Evans. Slides it over. Too many sticks in front. Zhu in the corner, bothered by Sullivan. Able to stay with that puck. A couple of Minutewomen congested. And a pass to the slot is intercepted by Sowers. Abby Zahn still on that ice. Her shift is coming to a close. 13 minutes left to go. Colorado needs an equalizer if they want to end the weekend with any wins. Viskovich. Head for Balerna. Balerna tried to get it to Zhu with too many bodies on her. Terleska comes the other way. Enters the zone. Terleska trying to get around two defenders, put it in front of the net. Here's Wallace. Wallace backhands it back the other way. Ahrens there to fight for that puck, has 3 back checkers on her. And UMass takes care of that. The shot from the other goal line is on net, so no icing, and Watson will have to cover up. A face-off will come out in front of her. Kieran, really just no offensive generation, it feels, from Colorado. They are really struggling to keep the puck on their stick.
Absolutely, Paxton. I mean, UMass just shutting them down every chance that they get, forcing them to resort to their defense, and we're going to see that once again here as they'll try and clear.
We'll see if the first line can change that. They are out along with the top D pair, O'Brien and Dupuis. Zoe Dupuis. The puck comes out to Masiello, who turns it right back over. Roche. Fed inside, here's Gromko. Gromko trying to work around Natalie Ewald. Ewald got her arm over Gromko. And she just drew a penalty. Penalty coming up on Natalie Ewald for high sticking.
First penalty of the day against Ewald. She's not pleased as the Minutewoman will go back on the power play. We're already showing another dominant performance here in Boulder, Paxton.
Normally Natalie Ewald is out there on the first kill unit for Colorado, but she will be replaced by Anna Masiello, who was not able to clear, kept in by by Riley Evans. Now it's Evans with the puck. Over to Little. Little puts a shot on, pad save made. Shapiro fighting hard for that puck, but Fischelli's gonna fish it up and out with the backhand. Evans. Stopped there by Masiello and Fischelli. Masiello strips the puck. Oddly enough, in that second period, Colorado's best sustained pressure was on the penalty kill. And now here they come, shorthanded once again. It's Fischelli. Fischelli down by the goal line, circling all the way around. Got some help. She'll leave it for O'Brien. O'Brien's gonna let her rip. Puck is still loose. And Fischelli a little late to put a shot on. Really good kill effort from Colorado, turning it in to offensive chances, just like we saw in that second. Now here comes UMass, trying to make it their power play again. Riley Evans slides it over for Gromko. Gromko will throw it all the way down. Evans is going to meet it, but she just chipped it down, and it's going to come out of the zone. No, it stayed in. Catan trying to put a stick on it, and now finally thrown down by Sophie O'Brien on net. Pass made by Matthews over to Gromko. 25 seconds left to go in the power play. Ahead of the circles, the shot is blocked in front. Puck pops up into the air. Sullivan will grab it. Backhand it out of the zone. Masiello has got some room. Anna Masiello, a 1-on-2. She's going to take a shot, and a save made by Matthews.
At exactly the 10-minute mark, Paxton. I mean, Colorado trying to shift that momentum. Their penalty kills done an incredible job. This shift, 6 seconds remain on the power play for UMass. And Buffs get a chance offensively to end their penalty kill.
Fischelli and Masiello are going to stay out there. Ewald ready to come out of the box, and it'll be a first-line offensive possession for Colorado should they hold on to the puck here. They do. Ewald out of the box, racing to help out her teammates. Masiello fighting hard for that puck. She just kicks it out to Fischelli. Good puck battle win by Masiello. Now she got thrown down to the ice by Roche. Puck still loose, bounces off the side of the cage. And Julia Williams, that's Zhu. Matthews covers up. Buffs will get a change. An entire fresh 5 out for Colorado's the second line, joined by Dupuis and O'Brien. Colorado, this is the best they've played in the third period so far, staying in the O-zone. Piatigorsky down for Nasty. Nasty got pickpocketed, but kept in by O'Brien. O'Brien fighting hard down low. Kept in by Dupuis. Dupuis gonna put a shot on, blocked by Balerna. Now Nasty in the slot. Nasty leaves it. Score! Alexa Catan! This game is tied.
What an electric goal by Catan, sneaking it over the right shoulder once again of Sarah Matthews. And just like that, we have a tie game here, Paxton, at 2, 9:01 to go in period number 3. What a series for this Colorado team.
Colorado needed that in the worst way. It's Catan's third of the year. Colorado all in that second in the first 10 minutes of the third. We're looking lethargic, but all it takes is one. Catan has tied this game up, and we are even with under 10 minutes to go. Colorado has life. O'Brien throws it out of the zone. Riley Evans is there. Can't dump it. Zahn kept in by UMass. Puts on net, and Watson's gonna cover up. Rowan Nasty had the puck in the slot. She opted not to shoot. Instead, she found Cadden right down by the goal line, up and tight by that right post, or left post. And Catan threw it in. In the corner, it's Gromko. Stopped by Emerson, good defense. Ewald gets it out of the zone. Here's Viskovic. Viskovic turns the puck over in the neutral zone. Natalie Ewald across the blue line. Shakes the defender. Has the puck looking for Fischelli. In front of that, Fischelli takes a shot. And a save made by Matthews.
What a shift of momentum for Colorado. Matthews swallowed up that shot from Fischelli, from right out in front. That first line, once again, making an impact for this Colorado team and keeping that pressure alive that we saw in the first.
Colorado keeping that energy after the goal. Ewald found Fischelli alone in the slot. Fischelli unable to cash in. You know she wants that goal so bad. A shot from Sullivan goes wide. Cleared out by UMass. Sullivan heads right back in. It's Anna Masiello. Masiello gets around her defender, getting in tight in front of the net. Emerson's going to take a shot. Blocked in front. Rebound was still loose. Ewald got stung by that puck. Good stick by Emerson. Now Fischelli. Fischelli getting around Zhu. Mia Fischelli with the backhand goes wide. Good shift for the first line. They head out. As here comes Brooke Borges over the blue line. She just dumped it in. First there is Izzy Mitchell. Mitchell will take it herself out into the neutral zone. Gains the red line and dumps it in. Arns chasing after it. First to touch it is Roche. Kept in, Amanda Wallace. Wallace throws it off the glass. And taken out by UMass. McDonald, just Colorado, keep dumping. Dump and chase has been their game so far against UMass in both games, as UMass has been very strong on the blue line. Terleska pass to no one. It goes right to Shapiro, who dumps it in herself. 6:40 left to go in this tied 2-2 game between UMass and Colorado. A big one regarding Colorado standing in the WWCHL. A shot from Little goes off a body in front. Shapiro is the first one to grab it, gain around Wallace. Down in the corner, it's Wallace, able to grab that puck, backs up, throws it off the glass, and Piatagorski helps her out to get it out. Fresh leg that for Colorado. Here's Izzy Mitchell, too far for Catan. And inside comes Sparrow. Sparrow trying to work around McDonald. Kept in by UMass. Evans throws it down. Nasty is there, trying to poke that puck out, still kept in by UMass. Coming in hot is Julia Williams, tried to put a shot on. Piatagorski, Colorado just looking to clear the puck, now they do. Mitchell grabs it for Colorado. Colorado really struggling to clear that puck right now as we get close to 5 minutes. Evans is going to take a shot, blocker save made. Colorado finally able to clear the zone, and a nice feed pass ahead to Sowers. Amelia Sowers has got room in the right circle. She takes a shot, save made by Matthews.
Amelia Sowers, she's had some incredible chances on those breakaway or 2-on-1 plays on the day here today, and this one was definitely no exception. She's still got that energy, and she's bringing it for Colorado, but she'll get the draw here at the 5-minute mark.
And that's what Sowers is best at, one of the fastest skaters on this team. She can turn a play quickly into a breakaway chance for herself. UMass comes in on a 2-on-1. Here's Gromko. Gromko, good stick by Zoe Dupuis. Stop that shot. Still loose in front of the net, and it is going to get between a couple of Minute Women and come out of the zone. A pass goes into the skate. It's still loose. Gromko grabs it. Throws it down to the corner. Dupuis puts a body hard into the boards, and she's going to get a penalty for it. I don't know about that. Zoe Dupuis is going to head to the box. She doesn't know about it either.
Yeah, she's not pleased. Neither was Ewald on that last penalty. She will bump her way into the box. And another big chance for the Minute Woman inside 4.5. The game is tied at 2. They're going to try and retake the lead.
I thought number 8 on UMass went down to her knees pretty easily. That was not a very hard hit from Zoe Dupuis. So Colorado is going to have to kill another penalty. They've been good all day on the kill. In fact, they've been great all day, sometimes better than even strength. Here's Little for Shapiro. Maya Shapiro looks, trying to put a pass in front, blocked by Sullivan. Shot taken, they score. No! I thought it went in. It went out the crossbar. It got past Watson, but couldn't beat that pesky red iron. Kept in. Shapiro puts it right on Watson, and she scoops up with the left glove.
Second time that's happened today. Pucks bounce off the crossbar. It looked from this angle like it may have crossed the goal line, but it's no goal.
1:37 left to go in the Dupuis penalty. Dupuis appears to still be complaining about it in the box. I can't blame her. A shot from the circle. Save made by Zoe Watson. A hard slapper from Hope Viskovich.
And O'Brien diving in front of the crease of Watson, trying to make a stop, but it's easily swallowed up by Watson.
I'm surprised, Riley, I'm surprised, Kieran, that Hope Viskovich does not have a goal on the season. She's played in 16 games, and she has got one heck of a shot. Rowan Nassie unable to get that puck out for Colorado. It's kept in. Here's Little. Little puts it on, and another save made by Zoe Watson.
Watson really getting peppered on this power play for the Minutewoman as they'll get a line change, as will the Buffs. 1:14 to go. But Watson's able to make some incredible saves, rather.
The Buffs are going to go 3 forwards, 1 defenseman. Ahrens, Ewald, Fischelli, and Sullivan. Ahrens strips the puck and then ran into Little. Now a shot from Evans goes wide. Loose puck in the crease and just poked out. Now Fischelli coming the other way. Buffaloes have a 2-on-2. Fischelli with Ahrens to her right. Fischelli's going to take a shot. It goes out the body of Evans. And UMass escapes that no problem. Here's Zhu. Fischelli on her. Back on Zhu's stick. Enters the zone. Joanna Zhu by that right circle is going to hold up in the corner. Ahrens lost her glove and is going to have to go and face that shot with a bare hand.
On for McDonald goes down in front of the net of Watson. She's slow to get up, but she'll make it back to her skates.
This power play feels like it has been going on forever, and we still have 25 seconds left to go. The Buffs are going to change it up again.
Yeah, this one went really, really slow. Inside 3 minutes to go now in the third period. We're still tied at 2.
Buffs can't clear. Riley Evans at the blue line. Over to Viskovich. And a good stick by Sophie O'Brien. Here she comes. She's so great on the breakaway. Sophie O'Brien. She shoots. Saved by Matthews. What a chance for Sophie O'Brien. Hairston draws a penalty.
What a change of momentum for Colorado. 3 seconds to go on that penalty kill. 2.5 to go in the period. And they'll get another chance on the power play. 4-on-4 for about 3 seconds as Viskovich heads to the box.
You said it, Kieran. What a shift of momentum. Sophie O'Brien had a chance to take the lead on her stick. Couldn't put it past the right pad of Matthews. But then on the forecheck, Ella Hairston draws the trip. We're going to be 4-on-4 for 3 seconds. Dupuis going to come out of the box, and then it is a power play for the Colorado Buffaloes. Sullivan in the neutral zone. Dupuis out of the box. She went to the bench. And now the full first unit is out for Colorado. Piatigorsky gains the zone. Going to come all the way below the net, try to flip it in front to Masiello. Piatigorsky with a backhand try and covered up by Sarah Matthews. Matthews was not in the butterfly when Piatigorsky was in tight by that right post. Big moment here in this game. After this penalty, there will only be 30 seconds left in regulation. Fischelli waits, gonna head to the right, over to the corner, looking to circle all the way down. She does, staying with that puck on her stick. Good strong stick, but the pass gets underneath the blade of Abigail Piatigorsky. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. in this power play. 1:37 in regulation. Here's Natalie Ewald chugging up the left side. Lost the puck. Masiello's going to help her out below the net. Masiello got stripped of the puck by Shelby Little. 3 Buffaloes are going to fight for that puck. Come out to Kieran Sullivan. Sullivan's going to take a shot. Blocked in front. Ahrens on the ice now. Brianna Ahrens leaves it for Sullivan. Sullivan trying to get around Little. She does. She's going to put it in front, but Masiello's stick sent it below the net. And then taken out by Joanna Zhu. Well done. 30 seconds left to go in the power play. Fischelli getting right back in. She has a 1-on-3, though the rest of her team is getting the change. Pad save made by Matthews. Second unit out for Colorado. Here's Rowan Nasty. Nasty. Backhand pass to O'Brien. O'Brien couldn't get her around Dunn. Rowan Nasty fighting hard to Catan. Catan is going to take a shot. It goes above the crease. O'Brien in the corner. Power play is over. 30 seconds left in regulation. Dupuis slaps it, but she couldn't get anything on it. O'Brien takes a shot. Save made by Matthews. O'Brien had daylight, and she couldn't put it short side.
Man, O'Brien not pleased with the outcome of that play. She was able to get it past, and it's easily swallowed up by Matthews. And the first line comes back out for the Buffaloes. I feel like they've seen the most ice time here today. 22.6 to go in regulation, Paxton, at this place. I can feel the tension building.
That first line is tied. They were just out there on the power play, but with 22 seconds to go, they're going to leave everything out in regulation. They want no one else on the ice. Here to finish, Dupuis is in a race, and it's won by UMass. Pass in front of the crease. No shots put on. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Ewald looking to just pin it along the boards. A penalty is going to come up, actually, as the clock hits zeros in regulation. After 60 minutes, these two teams could not decide it. We are going to overtime.
This is a big moment here for both squads as they'll head to their benches for a moment. And looks like Hannah Gromko having some words with the official.
The official's hand was up, signifying a penalty as regulation came to a close. We'll see what the decision here is. I'm not sure who it would be on, and neither side's penalty box has opened their door. It'll be 3-on-3 hockey, and then followed by a shootout. Colorado, they've been pretty solid in overtime and in the shootout this season. Both these teams will talk it over. Coach Wilburn discussing with her team. A lot better effort and a lot better energy and all-around just play from Colorado in those last 10 minutes of that third period. They were able to tie this thing up from Alexa Catan. Colorado this season, they're 1-1 post-regulation. They haven't lost in overtime, and then they won in the shootout over Michigan State. That was one of the most electric games of the season, if not the most electric game, wouldn't you say, Kieran?
I concur, Paxton. That was incredible. Minute Woman coming back out. Let's look at their stats heading into overtime. So it'll be 5 minutes of play, 3-on-3 hockey, and it looks like Hannah Gromko heading to the box for UMass.
So it's going to be 4-on-3 hockey.
4-on-3, excuse me.
In favor of Colorado. Big moment here.
This is something you rarely see, I feel like, Paxton.
4-on-3 in overtime. Here we go. Sophie O'Brien enters the zone. Circles down below the net. Looking for a pass. She's going to leave it for Natalie Ewald. Ewald chasing after it. Picks it up. Leave it for Zoe Dupuis. Dupuis back up top for Natalie Ewald. Ewald's gonna let her rip, goes out the cage, loose puck. Fischelli couldn't put it home. It's gonna come out of the zone. Natalie Ewald fights off Sparrow, enters right back in. Natalie Ewald trying to get around Little, stays with that puck. Up top, Zoe Dupuis, back to Ewald. Ewald to Fischelli. O'Brien is standing there on the far side calling for that puck. O'Brien lost the puck, or excuse me, Dupuis, but we're able to get it back. 1 minute left to go in the power play. Fischelli gets in the slot, she takes a shot, save made. Piatagorski there, couldn't put the rebound in. Piatagorski leaves it for O'Brien. Sophie O'Brien below the net. Colorado got a change off. O'Brien still with it, leaves it for Kieran Sullivan. Sullivan back to O'Brien. Buffs got to clear some space for themselves. Here's O'Brien, still with the puck, getting to the left circle. She takes a shot, it goes wide. Sullivan's there, she takes a slapper, and it's blocked in front. 23 seconds left to go. Buffs keep the puck in. Good move by O'Brien, but then is stripped. Now it's a breakaway chance. It's Arguin, but she is off sides. UMass cannot believe it. Coach William Wright is furious.
My goodness, Coach Williams standing on top of his bench. I mean, he was beside himself on that last play. He'll come back out to neutral territory. Piatagorski in for the draw. Holy cow.
One of the linesmen was laughing at Coach Wright for standing on top of the boards. Alexa Catan with the puck. CU has 7 seconds left on 4-on-3, and then we're going to go 4-on-4 until the next whistle. Gromko is out of the box. She was looking for a feed. Now she gets it, but it's too far. Kieran Sullivan. The pass ran into the stick of Gromko. Catan's going to have to help her out. We're 4-on-4 hockey, 2:45 left to go into overtime. The pass gets to Catan. Catan trying to get in between into the slot, but she lost the puck. Here's Gromko. Gromko gets it to Arguin. Arguin takes a shot, goes out the skate of Sullivan. Staying with that puck is Arguin. Trying to wrap it around, still couldn't put a shot on. Fighting hard as Catan with Gromko, seeing if they can get that puck out. Kept in, it's Riley Evans. Evans lets it rip. Save made by Watson. Awkward save.
My goodness.
And she holds on.
That was a Herculean effort by Zoe Watson. Looked like it bounced off her shoulder, and she managed to get it into that left glove. And we'll go back to 3-on-3 now for the final 2 minutes of play.
It's Fischelli, Ewald, Dupuis. Puck is down, and a shot is put on by UMass into the glove of Watson.
UMass applying that pressure once again as both teams now at even strength, 3-on-3.
Face off. It's going to come out to Fischelli, trying to get around Little, and she does so. Mia Fischelli, puck on her stick in the right circle, getting in tight. Ewald's going to take a shot, blocked in front. Under 2 minutes. That pass was too far for Shapiro. Racing after Dupuis, hot on her tail. Dupuis goes hard on the boards along with Shapiro. Fischelli's going to bank it up and out of the zone. Shelby Little to Joanna Zhu. UMass is on sides. Zhu takes a shot, it goes over the net. Shelby Little trying to keep it in, she cannot do so. Minute 30 in overtime. Little's gonna calm that puck down. Trying to get around Dupuis, she does. Enters the zone, getting to the right circle, and she scores. It's Shelby Little, the game winner for UMass. And they will end the weekend 2-0, winning both over Colorado.
Wow, what a finish to that game, Paxton. I mean, an electrifying finish for the UMass Minutewoman coming in here and sweeping Colorado on the weekend. 1:13 remaining in overtime, and they take this lead. 3-2. What a way to finish.
Shelby Little with a great play, a really good zone entry, got around Zoe Dupuis, and then found space in the right circle, put it right in the top corner, and is taking this one home for UMass. A tough weekend for Colorado. They will get a point out of this matchup, and then the 2 games with a point. In the standings, we'll see what Utah does against Grand Canyon tonight in their game.
That's
but
really
a pretty
good.
brutal way to end this one for Colorado.
Absolutely. That's really, and also going back to Utah, that's going to be the deciding factor in this weekend, is if they can get a win this weekend against Grand Canyon, tonight rather. This will be certainly a big change of momentum as they'll comfortably retain that number 1 spot as Colorado salutes their home crowd who showed up and showed out this morning and early afternoon. But, I mean, Paxton, this was just a tough way to go out if you're Colorado. In overtime, you had that energy. You had everything in your control. You were on the power play. You were 4-on-3, and then you just could not capitalize off UMass's incredible defense.
Absolutely. Colorado really had so much momentum on that power play. They couldn't cash in on the 4-on-3. UMass was looking for opportunities to get breakaways all through that overtime period. And then Shelby Little. Sometimes great players just make great plays, and that's what that was.
Absolutely. I mean, thank you to all of you who are tuning into our broadcast. We truly appreciate it. And I honestly, Paxton, I can't think of a better way to spend my 21st birthday than here in this rink, covering this game for all of you at home and with this incredible crew here at SBS.
Yeah, it's too bad that the Buffaloes couldn't get you a win on your 21st, Kieran.
It happens, man.
How it goes sometimes. Colorado will end their homestand here with the loss to UMass. They will go on the road to Salt Lake City, and it's a tough one, Kieran. They got to face the division-leading Utah Utes. It'll be 2 games in Salt Lake, and then back in Boulder for another 2 against Utah. That very well may decide the WWCHL. Just how big are those 4 games going to be for Colorado?
It's going to be huge for the Buffaloes. Going into Salt Lake City, obviously, it's going to be tough territory as well. Utah is a very tough atmosphere to play in. And, I mean, obviously, Colorado, they performed incredibly at home, this weekend being the exception, of course. But, I mean, they're good. They know what's at stake. They know what they're walking into, Paxton. And so I expect nothing less than an electric performance from Colorado in Salt Lake next weekend.
It felt like they were coming into this weekend series not really having played up to the competition that they were expecting, and then got it taken to them by UMass, who is a much better team than some of the teams that Colorado has faced recently in January, such as DU and New Mexico. But hopefully when they play Utah, they'll have that experience, having just played an incredible team in UMass, and they'll be a little more ready for Utah.
Yeah, I concur with that. I mean, you went down, you got swept here at home. That obviously hurts, but you can take so many lessons from what happened here this weekend and translate it into what is an even bigger weekend in Salt Lake coming up.
Absolutely. Those 2 games on the road will be huge for this Buffalo squad, and then back here at the Rec Center, those 2 games may be the biggest of the season. Those will be streamed here on Sko Buff Sports. After that home series against Utah, they'll have 1 more home game against Denver, and then that will do it for the regular season here for the women's team. That does it for our coverage of women's hockey here on Sko Buff Sports for this weekend. The final score, the UMass Minutemen, or Minute Women, win it in overtime 3-2. They take the series sweep. On behalf of Paxton Haynes, I'm Kieran Werger, Nick Evans, our producer, Jackie Rivera, and Ryan Dontiger on the cameras today. We thank you for tuning in. See you for some D2 hockey coming up next on Sko Buff Sports.